Hello everybody. In this video we're going to redo our to-do application now with Tailwind. As you can see right now, what I did is just pretty much create a new repository. I already cloned it. I created my index file, my main JavaScript file. I'm already pretty much sourced it. In this case, I'm not using any extra CSS and just push it to there. So that's pretty much my application. And it's running like this. It's pretty much where I have it, and I already have my live server running. There you go. So now what we're going to do, I want to move a little bit faster. So the markup is going to be really similar, and I will just stop in the detail for the classes that we need to apply. So what is Tailwind CSS? Tailwind CSS is a highly customizable, low-level CSS framework that give you all the building blocks that you need to build applications, pretty much. In other words, they give you pretty much classes that you can use your markup and different utilities that you can reuse in order not to actually write any CSS code. In those classes, we have responsive classes, we have grid options, we have paddings, margins, colors, text fonts, a lot of things that we can actually use. And one of the best examples that we consider is pretty much this little card. We can see they have a little card there, and just adding some custom CSS files. Let me actually put it like this so you can able to see it. So you can see that how the text and how everything is changing, and including the colors, just to adding those specific listing. Text center, there you go. And then when it's a bigger layout, you just add the MD like like a bigger screen, and it have a different behavior in another screen. So with just a couple of lines to a couple of classes here and there, you are able to do really good layouts that are responsive and really well made without any CSS files. And that's the goal through here. In order to get started, it's recommended to have a more production environment, and it's going to be more applying when we move forward with our view apps. But for now, let's use the development setup. And this setup is not recommended for any computer or for any production applications. And it's pretty much using the CITP. And we just scroll down a little bit. There you go. What is the issue with the CITP? Because it's highly customizable, you cannot change anything, you cannot apply variants, you cannot group hover or install third-party plugin that you can actually use later. But that's okay for now. The problem that is really big. So your application is going to be really heavy. That's why they recommend to do all this configuration that's really advanced. We're going to move forward in another video how to actually do it. They will help us pretty much tree shaking the information. What is that? Get rid of everything that we are not using. So when we build for our application for production and we're ready to deploy, you just have the necessary classes so we can redo these files. It's actually really big to have an application. But for development environment, we are ready to go. So we just copy this line and paste it after my title. As you can see, I already have my title with the Tailwind there. Let me save it. And the minute that I save, you will see that it gets affected. That means that everything is working as it's supposed to be doing here. So let's do pretty much the styling the same way that we already know. So we have a div element that's pretty much a container. I will not use the word container because Tailwind actually use that. So in this one, in order to see all the different elements, you can actually look for those. So I can look for height, max height, here we go, height. We want this one. So we need to apply this class, and we need to apply, and we go to width. We can see that we have several classes, and pretty much we want to apply those width. So in the main one, the only thing that we're going to be doing is pretty much class equal. I will do for now just BG red 500. It has colors in there, so you will see everything that is there. And let's do a screen to take all the page. Let's do just to make sure that it's taking all the width. I will change my background from red to a little more gray. So let's do a gray, I don't know, 300. And when I'm getting those colors, we will look for colors. We have customized colors that are here. No, there you go. We have the grays, black and white, grays, red, orange, yellows, and those are the numbers that we can actually apply for each one of those colors that we want to have. So right now, the one that I'm doing is gray 300. That's pretty much this one. With DBG, we specify it for a background. For a text, we just put the word text in here. So you will see that's really easy to read and understand what you're doing. So let's apply that background there. And I want my elements to actually be flex. And it's going to be flex column. We're here applying those in all the elements. And justify center. Perfect. And item center. That's pretty much the line items that we have been using before. Cool. My H1, I want to do class text for Excel. There you go. You can actually use Excel. You will see that it's a lot smaller. You can 2 Excel, 3 Excel, and 4. And you will see the different sizings in there. Of course, you can always look for text size. And you will see all the sizing that you can actually apply. Perfect. So we have our text there. Let me look for some example. So if we can do forms, we can see something similar like this. So I want actually to use this input text. I like it. So I like this input text over here. So I can actually take this one. I have already a bunch of classes, apply it. I will use it as it is and paste it in my form div. I will put it there. Let's see how it looks. You're not taking it. Let me refresh it. Oh, it's right there. What is happening? Oh, my input actually need to be inside my high screen. So let me just put one top. There you go. So I have that there. So my D is going to be new text. And the placeholder is going to be add new to do. There you go. And probably in this particular case, I don't want the shadow line on focus. Perfect. And I don't want the shadow either. So let me remove those. Perfect. I like this a little bit better. And after that, we can apply a button. There are some little examples of specific elements that you can use. So a button is something like this. Really simple. We just a bunch of CSS files. So let me just copy this and put it right after my input. Save it. I have my button there. My button needs to say add. I need to have the ID of new button. There you go. So let me actually just change this to be flex and looks a lot better. Let me remove the rounded, so I don't see this little line over here. So let me actually remove this. And let me remove this from here. There you go. So it looks a little bit better. And I actually like this size, so let's leave it like that. So after we have that, we can actually specify now after when we do that, let me check. You know what? We didn't wrap it out the hellos and the buttons. So actually, this is going to be like my container. So this actually need to have my header. We have it like that, and we'll move my hello there, my complete form. That's still here, I believe. Yes. There you go. And this is not we call it like this. It's actually going to call my to-do app with Tailwind. And let me remove that. Perfect. Okay. This starts looking a lot better. So let's see what that header will actually ends here. And I can do my to-dos. And here I have my pendings. And I have my completed. There you go. And I will look something for like a card. Oh, no there, here, card. So this is actually the elements that I like for a card. I will not use anything from here, I just want the styling. So let me actually show this one. So this is going to be my item. It's just a simple text in the middle without all the extra things that are going to be there. So I believe I can actually have after my pendings, let's do an H3 pendings, and here another one, 3 dot completed. And let me do those actually class. And I believe before do that, let me my title. Let's keep it like that, my title. So this one's going to be class text, probably 2XL. Yes, I like that. So let me copy that and paste it in my completed title. There you go. Probably I can do my to-dos to be really longer. So let me take a width of still 100. Let me do a 1012. There you go. I can do a really quick background blue to see the sizing. I like the sizing. So I do the color just to see the size. You know, I like to do that sometimes. And I will say my pending is going to have, actually this one will have a margin top of 8. There you go, separate those a little bit. We can have this one the same sizing probably. Margin top 8. Okay, looks better. Now we need to have that specific card there. So we will specify my UL of ID pending list. There you go. And here my UL hashtag completed list, and with a tab, and we will autocomplete that. And now we need to put a different list there. So we have the list item 1, list item 2, and we can actually copy and paste it over here. Item 3 and item 4. There you go. What I'm doing wrong. This one needs to be here. Ooh, what is happening here? Oh, this gets messed up somehow. So let me do an H3 here. You can something happen here with my text. So let me just revert back. And actually, it's just this section, I believe, without this. Yes, I have my item 1, item 2. There you go. and the both item be copied over here. It's going to be 3, and it's going to be 4. There you go. And those items need to change a little bit. So I will take this card element. I know the card actually came. It had a bunch of information there. So I will play with this a little bit. So at the beginning, I need to have my list class. So let's start adding a padding. Of course, we need to have text center. There you go. Adding a padding in there. And we can do background white. Probably it's too much, so probably background gray 100, a really subtle gray in there. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. And after that, let's separate each item for one of those. So let me copy this to here, and we have they're together. So actually, let's change those empty-4. Yeah, like that. I like how that start looking. Let's do a rounded. Also see what we do there. Is add a little good touch. I didn't like the gray anymore, so let's do white. Yeah, I stand up a little bit. And let's do a shadow large. I think well that little 3D things that look like pretty nice. And something really cool that we can that Tailwind have is the pointer classes. So we can actually just put the cursor dash pointer, and that will automatically have my pointer there, as you can see. So that's pretty neat. And other help classes that we can do. So we can use hover columns, and we can see it. There you go. And let's do a background green 500. That means that wherever we hover over, the background changes, and it's automatically. How cool is that? I like it a lot. So I believe this is pretty much what we need. So let me just copy the whole class. And let me add it to my other items. With the difference that we're going to do some changes. So let me select both there. The first change is going to be is that by default, I want to have my line throw, I believe, like that. Yes. So they have the class to have the text decoration. That's also pretty cool. And let's do text red 500. Yeah, that looks pretty neat. And then over the hover, and I have my hovers over here. If I do the green, we're going to do red 500. The only thing is because that we lose the text, so we need to change the text color. So you can actually do on the hover, my text is going to be white. So by default, my text is red, but when it hover, it's going to be white. And there you go. How cool this look? Pretty neat, right? And I believe it's a lot better look like application. You know what? I like that one that much that I will add. I believe it's like this. There you go. I will put an emoji in there in my title. Perfect. So now that I have that, I can actually commit everything. I will go to my changes, finish layout. There you go. And now let's do my main JavaScript files. It's going to be really, really similar. So we have the same elements that we're going to get it. And we are going to add a new one. And let me actually close this one that is supposed to be closed. There you go. And in here, I will very much, give me a second, put all this in here. And if we do new, it's going to be added, but of course it's not making the color it's supposed to be. Sorry for that. So what we need to do is pretty much copy all this, and this is the only drawback I can say somehow. And what we need to do is our new to do dot class list dot add, and we can start adding a bunch of classes. But we cannot save it like that. We actually need to close each one, do a comma, and start. So it's going to be multiple. We need to open and close my double quotes, put a comma in there, open, put the new class, comma, open the new class, close it. Just like this. That's the only troublesome thing here. What is worth it? There you go. I save it. Perfect. So if I add a new one, it's there. And I have my hover classes, so it's actually saved there. It's supposed to. Perfect. So that's my event listener for that. My event listener for the enter is exactly the same. So if I do another new and click enter instead of the button, it's doing and saving that because we are saving the new button. That's pretty nice. And the other one that's going to be changes a little bit is, and let's actually go back and get it from the other ones. Let me get my repositories. Let's get the one for the pure HTML. My main. Let's get those three. Oh, sorry. And let's put it there. So we click it. It gets moved there. But as you can see, it's moving over all the styling. So it's doing what it's supposed to, the way that it's supposed to, but it's not converting the styling. That means that we need to actually make some changes in there. So how we fix that, or how it occurs to me to fix it? So we have the element, we have the destination, and we have the convert to, something like that. And I can do a simple checkup. So I already have my element there, that is my event target, and I will do if, a simple if statement. Oh, sorry for that. If statement, that the only things that are going to be checking, let me put that inside there, is my convert to equal to completed. It's going to do something specific, and not that actually go out. Else something different here, and then we append the childs. And what we're going to be doing, well, we just do my element dot class list add, and we need to add all those extra classes that we have there. So we have the text red 500. We have our line through, I believe. And that needs to be actually in double quotes or single quotes, actually doesn't matter here. And we actually need to add, I have a couple already copied over here. So we need to add all those. And we need to remove this one. So if we need to move something from the pending to completed, we need to remove the green background and add all these classes. It's pretty much what we're doing. The other way around is going to be pretty much the same. We just copy over, but we are going to remove all these classes and we'll be adding this one. And in the end, we just append that specific child. So the only way to actually to complete it is actually we need to send it to completed. And this one needs to be sent to pendings. There you go. Because they convert to element and it actually waiting. So let's see if that works. So my item one didn't work there. It did a couple of things, but didn't do everything that it's supposed to. Let me see what is actually missing here. I'm sending my target element, my class list. I'm saying completed. Yeah. It's doing the change, but it's not doing this section. It's supposed to be still a list. So let me pause the video for a minute and let me see what is happening. I think I have it. I'm calling this to do, and it's not supposed to be to do, it's supposed to be my element. So let me actually change that. And this should be here. So let me see, there you go. So my item 2 is getting moved to here and getting the listing, and when I move something to the top, it's getting that listing. If I add a new one, there you go. And if I move it, it moves the different styling. So I actually like a little bit more this application. Let me do just one last adjustment. See that this button doesn't like those colors anymore. So let me go to change this and this to green. And we stay the hover one, so actually have that little green. Try it according to these different greens. Perfect. Let's commit and finish the app. And let's sync it. There you go. And that means that let me open my repository just to make sure that everything is there. Oh. Repositories. Todo App with Tailwind, updated 70 seconds ago, and have my whole commit. So in the markup language, look a little bit, I will say bigger. Yes, it does. It have a lot of classes in there, but we actually didn't use any CSS. And because we didn't use any CSS, our JavaScript just gets a little bit more complicated because we need to add and remove the special classes. But in general, I like more the approach, and I believe it's a little more appealing application than the other two that we already did. So I hope that you really like this video. In the next video, we're actually going to start using Tailwind a little bit more. Then we're going to move to another framework later. But for now, let's stick with this one. And I just want to show you how that works. That way, we don't need to do any extra layout that we require. So I hope that you like it. Any questions, any doubt, don't hesitate to reach me. Happy coding, everybody.